Even more live shows with Adam Carolla at the end of this month in Bellflower, California. 2 shows at the Stand-Up Comedy Club on May 24th. Then on May 30th, he travels up to Washington for 4 shows at the Tacoma Comedy Club in Tacoma. May 30th and 31st. Then off to Spokane, Washington at the Spokane Comedy Club on June 1st. Tickets for these and more at adamcarolla.com. A man who thinks Diddy should be on trial for his garbage music, too. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on a choice, but got a mandate. Get it on.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. Jiaoying Summers is back in studio. Very funny stand-up comedian. She's touring. She's playing everywhere. She's on the road, man. And should I just give your website out?
Sure.
All right. You want me to spell it out?
Sure.
JIAOYING comedy.com for all the dates.
Jiaoying.
So, well, we were just talking about P. Diddy. Did he do that? Wait a minute. Was P. Diddy the mastermind behind
The police.
The police ripoff?
Yes.
That's everything that's wrong with music. I'm fucking tired of arguing with people all the time. They're like, I like that song. Yeah, that song's done. When somebody did that song, that's somebody else's song, and then you make it about Fat Daddy or whatever the fuck you're doing is not art in any way, shape, or form. Just like when you rip off Kashmir. That is not you writing a song. Can we get the fuck over it,
It
people?
seems like yesterday you used to rock the show.
Yes,
I laced the track
he's doing
and you rocked
other
the flow.
he's doing other people's song, also other people's sons.
Let me explain something. Ripping off somebody's comedy, ripping off someone's fine art, ripping off someone's sculpture, or ripping off someone's design for automobiles or architectures, you ripping them off. That's not you creating something, you fucking losers. Now, it's not their fault. It's our fault for consuming it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there should be no sampling ever. Unless it's some blues artist who's a woman from the 40s that we never would have heard of without you sampling it. All right, and I'll be in charge of who gets by. All right, so P. Diddy. Yeah, he's putting the P in P. Diddy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this. So the new one is his girlfriend is saying he would hire like male prostitutes to pee on her.
What? Breaking
news. Yeah. I heard about this. The news, it's hard for the news to deal with this stuff because they don't have a good way to phrase getting peed on.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? And they also have standards, which is like when I did radio back in the day, you could say they have weird rules. You could go, I'm pissed off. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't say I peed on Cassidy. Mm-hmm. One is me. They both had the word piss or pee in them, but you can't say I took a piss on Cassie, but you can say I'm pissed off. Mm-hmm. So it's not about the word, it's kind of about the action. Mm-hmm. Sean Diddy Combs allegedly forced escort to urinate in Cassidy Ventura's mouth as she choked. As she choked. Okay.
Choked on the urine?
Oh, waterboarding.
There we go.
Wow.
I think it's called urine boarding.
Yeah. So the problem, well, first off, I don't know how male prostitutes work, but...
Well, I'll take this. Go ahead and ask some questions.
Well, this is definitely worth a tip because a lot of guys are pee shy.
Oh.
And a lot of guys go, if I'm at a public, I can't pee at the airport. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand these guys. I can piss. If I got to take a piss, I can take a piss in front of the Vicar of Christ. I don't care. I got to piss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of dudes who are like, I don't piss in public or if a guy's at the stall or the guy's at the urinal next to me. Like, they're pee shy, which speaks to a deeper problem to me, but they're just pee shy. Mm-hmm. So at a freak off, whipping your tongue out in front of 40 people sitting around and pissing on somebody, I could see where that would take a certain amount of emotional resilience to overcome that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know what I'm
think
saying?
so, but these boys are performers. You know what I mean? They step up, when the chips are down.
Yeah, they get paid for it.
Yeah, they're already paid. The check is cash. Every breath you take, I'll be choking with piss.
But this is like the great karate movies where I get my opponent down, he's on the ground, and then you're my sensei, and you go, finish him. And I go, whoa, I didn't sign up for that. Like, I may be a professional, but I didn't sign up for finish him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
So he signed up to shake his ass and wave his dick around, but did he sign up to pee on a young woman?
Bonus. You know what I'm saying? You want to take home that bonus, you got to get up.
Also, what's the... Don't you have to have a conversation, like if you're peeing on a hot 21-year-old, where you're like, listen, ma'am, this is just it's a gig. You know, I'm in college. You know what? If it was up to me, I wouldn't be doing this right now, but you got to understand the guy's cutting the checks kind of put me up to this. This wasn't my idea, is what I'm saying.
I'm just a dog. You know, I just here to do what my owner says to me.
Yeah.
In order to get food. I just feel like being a lot of times, as a peasant from China, according to J.D. Vance, first of all, you know, if you are paid to have sex with people, peeing on them, it just you have to do it. So next time when you come back, they pay you extra money. I would just be if I had to. And also, I felt so bad for Cassidy because.
Oh, wait, sorry, it's Cassie. I'm sorry,
Cassie.
I said Cassidy by mistake, but it's Cassie.
Well, I feel very bad for a woman in that kind of situation, dating those abusive narcissists. But if it was me, I was Cassie. After he beat me a few times, I think it's a perfect time for me to trigger him by braising and existing. So he beat me again. I'll have a Korean scissor. I'm like, oh no! I just cut his dick off, and it's self-defense.
Oh
I can kill him without.
You'd be fine.
Yeah, I would love to use that, but
also,
she's too nice.
Where are these women that are like, well, I was scared if he didn't let the escort pee on me, I would upset him. I'm like, I've never met that woman. I've never met that woman. I kind of wish I'd meet somebody who would be scared if I didn't get my way 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know who these people are. Like, just know.
Well, in the music business is different. They don't know how to work their way out. In comedy, they, get scissors and cut your dick off.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Cassie. She's a musician. She's a singer, right, Cassie? I don't know anything.
She just covers.
She was. That's the thing. She was. And then
songs.
her career really took a nosedive after she broke up with P. Diddy. So
Really?
it's one of
I
those
never heard of her.
Weinstein type situation, as I understand it.
I feel bad for her. She should at least have a hit or something.
Now, what... Listen, pardon me. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. But she's got she's 8 months pregnant. She's got a new man. He's a regular dude. When she comes home after a long day of talking about getting pissed on, does the guy at home just serve her up meatloaf, or does he go, I need a little space to decompress, or, hey, could you take a shower real quick? I know, just symbolically, like it's a little weird when your woman, you know what I mean? Like, okay, let's just, you're traditional.
Yes.
In certain ways. When a guy is with a woman and he knows, like, his best friend was with her or his brother was with her beforehand, it's a bit of a, like, okay, but I wish that wasn't so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if she tells you, oh, I dated Gronkowski for 2 years before I got to you. You're like, I wish you dated a smaller guy or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we have thoughts. And if you said, like, well, I remember one time I was pulling a train with, like, these 6 guys, you're kind of like, oh, really? Because I don't like to picture. I don't want to picture that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So getting peed on by the escort with the napkin in your mouth, doesn't it feel like as the dude, you got to decompress a little? I'm not saying she's already been a victim once. I'm not saying making her a victim again. I'm just saying he's going to have some difficulty in the boner department for the next couple of months, right?
None of us want to think about our old lady sleeping with somebody else. That's like a visual representation. And in court, it's all going to come out. It's going to be
right. So sleeping with somebody else is part of nature and part of the game.
Yeah.
It's baked in. What are you going to do? But the group of people standing around while the dude pees on her, that's a little next level in terms of stuff we don't want to think about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, when you kiss her, you're thinking about you're licking other people's pee. And it's not like a Bill Clinton's pee. It's like a stripper's pee. It's not high-class pee. It's like low-class pee.
Yeah. Low-class pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if someone fucked Brad Pitt, you want to fuck her in order to feel next to Brad Pitt's dick, but I give some homeless guy, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. You fuck Brad Pitt, and we're like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you're sort of being equated with Brad Pitt because, like, she liked Brad and then she liked you. And by the way, she's hot enough for Brad Pitt to want to fuck.
Yeah.
That's all good. But then at some point, she fucks Danny DeVito or something, and you go, his dick tastes weird.
Yeah. Also, like, maybe I'm uglier than I thought I am. I just don't know it.
So what's protocol for him? Like, when she comes back before she comes walking in the door, wants to give him a kiss, and he goes, could you just gargle?
Yeah, gargle.
And she's like, what? That was 7 years ago. And he goes, I get it, but just for me, could you just hit the Lavorus real quick before we kiss?
Just gargle. Or let Brad Pitt pee in your mouth right before I kiss you.
Brad, get over here.
Pee.
Oh, so she's sitting there, and it's tough for Peter because now she's pregnant. So now you're peeing for two. Mm-hmm. You're peeing on a mom. You know what I mean? Now, this was years ago, but the jury's just seeing a woman, I don't know, 7 months, 8 months. I mean, she's out.
Yeah.
You're just seeing a pregnant mom sitting there holding back the tears, talking about getting peed on, and that ain't good for.
That's bad for Diddy.
For Diddy.
So day one of testimony's going great, I guess.
Yeah, but here's what, I know Tenny Garrigus real well. Went to her wedding and so on and so forth. She's sweet. His lawyer, Mark Garrigus' daughter, Tenny, is a total sweetheart, by the way. She's not what you'd consider like a shark type lawyer. She's self-deprecating. She's real nice. She laughs and she's accommodating. Like, she's just one of these people that has a demeanor that's like a Labrador dog, tail's always wagging. Hi, would you need anything? I'm sure she's smart and she does her job, but her mentality is not like some of the lawyers you see out there, But look, I think her whole thing is going to be, he did this stuff and we don't appreciate it and it's not to be applauded, but this isn't human trafficking. This is just having kind of a spicy sexual
degenerate sex life.
Yeah, he's a degenerate. But by the way, I'm sure a dozen of the founding fathers were into some weird shit.
It's not quite illegal to be
It's not illegal just because you're weirdo.
Yeah.
Right?
It's illegal to be creepy.
Right.
Within reason.
So that's her argument. The peeing in the mouth part, though, that just kind of takes it. It's kind of next level.
I think if you are choking on the pee, just swallow it.
The people who really should have the lawsuit is
the hotels.
No, well, whoever the cleaning service is for the following day, it's all slipping on baby oil, landing in a puddle of piss, like, whoa, like, that's got to be a shit show, right?
Yeah, it's disgusting. So gross.
I would argue that a lot of yogis and professional Mexican boxers drink their own urine. If I'm not telling Tenny what to say, but I'm saying if I'm making an argument, I'm going, they're guys. There's Mexican prize fighters who do drink their own urine.
Yes.
And there's yogis there's yogis who drink their own. There's many people that are evolved think this has a health benefit to it.
Tried it.
You did?
You like
did,
it?
yeah. I was training Lyoto Machida.
Karate man.
Karate man, yeah. And he would do it.
He would do it.
He told me that it makes him strong, and I tried it. And I didn't feel
what
very
did
strong.
what did Lyoto's piss taste like, Mayhem?
It was my own.
I think there's a benefit to it. It just makes water taste better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, make life.
I probably inadvertently drank some piss because I've been pissed on so many times.
I did something gross. When I had my babies, one time my son has to pee. We were in the highway, so he peed in my kombucha. I left it in the bottle and I forgot it. And then next day I was drinking it. I'm like, this one must be very expensive. And I'm like, no, that's Vincent's pee.
You took a swig at mom of son urine.
I kind of chalk down it because it was 30. Then it's shameful to say, but that's what I did to myself.
No, that's an honest mistake. This is a safe space. Wow. Lyoto Machida, right?
Yeah. When I was training with Machida, like he was into all kinds of interesting, training methods. And
because he was a karate man.
He was, yeah.
And he was like one of the few, I don't want to say the last, but the last was like a high-profile middleweight or light heavy. What was
light
it?
Heavy. Yeah.
Light heavy who fought in the UFC with a non-UFC mixed martial arts style. Fought with the karate style. And it worked for him.
I got
pretty
kids
well.
coming up that have done a lot of taekwondo, and now that MMA has been homogenized in the culture, there's going to be some wild kicks coming.
So he drank his own urine.
He did consistently all the time. I seen him do it, and I was like, all right, I mean, it's working. He's a champ. Let's try. And I immediately regretted it. I was like, why? But I know that if I was out to sea for months at a time, I might be able to survive until they pick me up by guzzling my own cup full.
I'm going to text Tenny after the show and give her Lyoto's number.
All right,
because
you're
she'll go, all right, now I call a stand. Lyoto Machida karate match. Wear the belt. Wear the belt. Wear the belt. Talk about the benefits of drinking your own urine. Go ahead. Get up there with the strap. Make sure you have the strap on. Wear the gi, red, white, blue gi with the belt.
I have an evil idea. I don't think it's going to go well, but what happens, I know it's not allowed to talk about the woman's size in Hollywood, but what happens? We describe us with the like the middleweight, heavyweight, like what is different weight, right?
Yeah.
What was the other one? Middleweight?
Yeah, middleweight.
Middleweight.
Middleweight is like your
185.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then,
I like right now I gain 10 pounds. I'm kind of middleweight.
Yeah, you're a bantamweight now.
Yeah, I gained 10 pounds in Asia. I think it's.
Oh, really?
How
long were you in Asia?
I went to Australia for 3 weeks and Asia for 2 weeks for the touring. Ate a lot of food.
You did Australia. How was Australia?
It was great. They love comedy. They were sweet. I did Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth. Perth was depressive. If people were just beautiful city, but businesses are closing. All the restaurants are closed. They are poor in Perth, but they have the quokka, the cute animal. The
koala bear.
Koala, no, the quokka, the little animal, look like a rat, but
happy rat.
Yeah, very happy.
What month is that in your calendar? The happy rat
on April.
Is April the rat month?
Yes, April. I went to see that. They are very cute.
So, and then where'd you go after that?
I went to Jakarta. I played in U.S. Embassy.
Wow.
Jakarta. And then Singapore and Hong Kong, Taipei, and Hong Kong and Taipei, and Tokyo. Tokyo was the last one.
How was it?
I dressed up like a Japanese schoolgirl. I look like a little Japanese AI robot, sex robot. They're like, no, you are Chinese. You are a comfort woman plus.
Comfort woman. World War II reference. Lyoto Machida's dad says what happens when you eat and all the food that you eat and you digest, not all of it comes out, but when you drink your urine in the morning, it helps flush your system out. It basically cleans your system every day when you drink your urine.
That's what I was doing wrong. I was doing it mid-afternoon.
Oh,
a warm piss. Yeah, I got to do it in the morning.
Yeah.
With my cup of coffee.
Like you testing the pregnancy test, the first piss in the morning. Like in the morning.
I'm picturing Lyoto and his dad doing like a Budweiser type commercial where he puts a deck on and then they sit at the end with a big goblet of urine and his toast, Good job, son.
Part of waking up is urine in your cup.
That's Lyoto and his dad.
Sorry to bring this up, guys. I know. It's some hardcoreness. And what about you and Sonny waking up with a cup full of urine?
I'll tell you this. First off, I couldn't get that kid to drink Mr. Pibb over Dr. Pepper. He's so spoiled, all right? You understand? So he won't even go to a generic Dr. Pepper. Forget about Dr. Urine. I think there's an element. There's also a psychological element. Like once in a while, fighters would come in the ring, they get in the ring, and they'd see them punch themselves in their face. Yeah. Now, that wasn't for anything other than to go, oh, this guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, this guy scares me because he's punching himself now, And so drinking your own urine says to everybody, I'm crazy. I'll fucking do anything.
Yeah.
You won't tap out a guy who drinks his own urine.
Yeah.
You can't tap me out. I drink my own piss.
They have nothing to lose.
Right. I think there's
Give
an
me
element.
40 ounces!
That's what it is. All right. So P. Diddy... maybe in trouble.
You think?
Also, I think I would be eliminated as a juror because they'd be like, have you ever been involved in domestic violence? I'd be like, no. Ever been arrested for putting your hands on a woman? No. Ever thrown any orgies? No. Ever been pissed on? What are we talking about? Just pissed on? Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, all the time. That was my entire high school experience, was being peed on by my friends.
Move to strike.
Nonstop. Yeah, I would be eliminated. All right. Speaking of working out or something, AI, Adam Scher's back there working on editing the K-Rock doc, was back there. And he pulled me into his office last night, and he goes, hey, we took this old picture and we AI'd it and we animated it. We made it move. An old picture of me when I used to box, and then now they made it into an action thing. They made it physically move. Like it's like an old picture. I don't know, if you were waving a picture of it, now they go to AI and you're physically waving.
You got the
want to see
six.
it.
Yeah. What the hell? You gonna tease that? You got it up here?
I told them to get it. I told them to get it before the show, so I figured they had it, but maybe they
Probably
didn't.
not.
They're getting it now.
It's
but
fun.
it's kind of interesting that you could take a photograph. Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that's
What the hell? All
This
right.
is
now that's
this-
going backwards. They made it to go forward, I think. But the point is it's just it was a black and
Wow.
white photo of me skipping rope from the Bodies in Motion in Los Angeles I used to teach at from back in the day, and they took it, and now it's a clip of me skipping rope, which is kind of interesting.
it looks very real.
Yeah, it's strange.
It can be an Instagram story.
Yeah, the photo is that. That's a black and white photo, and then they made it move, although they made it go backwards.
Doesn't make it more crazy, though.
I was told it went forward, but maybe not. Or there's a version of it that goes forward. But either way, now the thing that's AI that's weird or not, I don't know if it's weird or not, but I don't skip rope like that. I know how to skip rope.
Yeah.
I don't do 2 feet at a time. I do 1 foot. I alternate feet all the time. So it fucks your form up a little because it does it like a 9-year-old skipping. Not last night, but the night before.
But it's
24.
creepy, though. It's scary. People are like, oh, he skipped rope crazy.
He's a crazy rope
He
skipper.
drinks pee and
He drinks pee and he
He's
skips,
like a
himself in the
9-year-old.
face.
He's
skips rope
evil.
backwards.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Man, you ever learn how to skip rope well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
good.
had it down to, or crossovers and
Oh,
the
wow.
whole bag of tricks. Yeah,
Oh,
that
good.
was a fun era. I trained in a boxing gym, though, because Fortune Boxing down there in Hollywood, it was where I was working my hands. So,
I see. So, yeah, skip
15-minute
rope.
ropes was standard.
15 minutes stop. Yeah. Yeah, rope is one of those things that most people don't do well, so they skip it.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, if you don't do it well, do 15 minutes before you start anything else every time you go to the gym, and you'll be doing it well in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just skip past the shit they don't do well, and
Yeah.
they never get good at the stuff because they don't like it.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds like our young people in America.
Well, it's like when I got out of high school, I was like, all right, I don't read well at all.
Mm-hmm.
I got out of high school, probably read at I probably read at about an 8th grade level, and then in China would have been a newborn,
Yeah, yeah.
or a zygote, or even an abortion
Yeah.
level. I read at Chinese abortion level when I got out of high school, and I just announced, well, no more reading. I'm going on a construction site. I'm never reading again. I'm never going to have to deal with this shit ever again. And then I got into radio, and they started putting live copy in front of me, going, all right, here you go, read that. I'd be like, ah. And then I got into TV, and they're like, don't worry, we're going to load up the prompter. It's all in the prompter. And I'm like, ah. So then I had to learn to read. But my plan was no reading, which is not a good plan. You should, if you're bad at reading, you should read. If you're bad at skipping rope,
Yeah.
skip rope.
Confront our fear.
Confront it. Yeah. All right. So, next thing I noticed is I realize our society is coming undone, and we're having to work around the undoing of our society, which is a couple years ago when I saw the commercial for the pharmaceutical pill that you took because you were constipated because you were strung out on oxycodone. I was like, oh, we're in trouble. Because not only is everyone taking so many painkillers that they're constipated, but now the pharmaceutical companies are selling you a second prescription drug because you're hooked on the first prescription drug and you can't take a shit. So I was like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. And then I was watching TV and a little commercial came on for deodorant, and I started thinking about deodorant for the first, 100 years it existed was for armpits. And that was it. There was no more all over the place. Now there's women going, I got this and I put it between my knees and put up my ass and stuff like that. And I'm like,
pits, cracks.
Yeah. So this is a Degree deodorant commercial. It's only 15 seconds that I saw.
Balls under boob and butt, boob and butt. Balls under boob and
All right, well, let's pause it for a second. I didn't know you're allowed to say balls, like when you're spraying stuff on your balls.
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 Yeah, balls.
Wow.
Here's the point. We never needed any of these standards, any of these rules, because at some point everyone just goes, like when I started in radio, it's like, you can't say tits. And then at some point everyone just starts saying tits and they're like, all right. Like, it's like, I guess we just made that up.
Yeah. I remember the time piss was the thing.
Piss.
Yeah.
Piss and tits, you couldn't say. What got us into tits is the titty bar. Oh. You could say boobs, jugs, knockers, hooters, but you couldn't say tits. But at some point, you could say titty bar, and that paved the way. That was a stepping stone to get to tits.
The balls, he should lift the balls up.
You got to go under the balls. You're spraying spray on top of your dick.
Yes, the tips are gonna be infected. I don't want to smell his dick.
So, what I realized. We'll watch it again. It's only 15 seconds.
balls under boob and butt, boob and butt. Balls under boob and butt, boob and butt.
All right. What's happening is everyone is so fucking fat now that they have folds everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the folds create a scent.
Yes.
And so the reason I'm seeing all these commercials about deodorant in places you formerly never needed deodorant, when you're a dude and you're 6 foot tall and you're 170, you don't have a bunch of folds, so you just have your underarm because that's the fold. That's the normal fold. Now you got the gut fold and the gunt fold and the boob fold and that crack fold and the ass fold and the knee fold and the thigh fold. And now we stink because there's too many folds. Like you can only handle so many linear feet of fold. Like so if you did now, I'm saying linear, not square footage of fold. So in the past, I've not ever said this out loud in my life, and I've never had this thought, but I'm thinking about it. Your armpit was good on each side for about 6 inches of fold material. So you put your arms down. If you're an average sized dude, maybe an average sized lady's more like 4 inches on each side of fold. How much fold material? Now, you can't count the top of your hand as fold. There's no fold there. There's no forearm fold. There's no forehead fold unless you're really fucking fat, right? But now you got to go fold, and you got to go the average American, like the average guy and gal who went to the Woodstock concert in 1969 only averaged less than a foot of fold, male and female, because all it was 5 inches on the dude's armpit, 5 and 5. That's 10 inches of linear fold. Okay, and women 4 and 4. That's fold. Now, technically, behind the knee could be fold if you're squatting, but you're not squatting. You're up there enjoying the Grateful Dead.
Yes.
Okay, so now in 2025. Chin fold may have overtaken the overall fold on a guy from 1969. Just the double chin fold. You got the double chin fold. You got the expanded pit fold because you got sort of man boob and sidearm and all that shit, right?
And subfolds.
Subfold. Now we're going there. Then we got under titty fold. We got belly fold times 2 or 3. Now when the belly fold comes around.
Yeah.
So we're talking 16 inches just one belly fold. Then there's a 13-incher above it and a 9-incher above that with the triple fold. Then we got thigh fold extensions.
Fupa.
We got fupa fold.
Yeah.
A fupa fold happening right now. There's some back. Some people have upper hip back fold too. That upper hip back fold.
How the hell are they going to fit that in the song?
Upper hip back fold.
Yeah.
Remix. Put P. Diddy on it.
If you take the average American citizen, and I'm going to talk to JFK Jr. about this. He's going to make a craft. We had basically 11 inches of fold back then. Now we got a country mile of fold. You add up the chin fold, the Great Wall of Fold. You can see the fold from outer space.
Yes.
Belly flat, butt crack, bat fat, chin fold.
You took all the folds and add them up. We're at 11 feet now, not 11 inches anymore. And each fold has its own little ecosystem, which creates its own funky town, which means it needs to be sprayed now. Yeah. And that's why every commercial, deodorant was under your pits for the first 100 years, and in the last 2 years, it's now everywhere.
I think there's two solutions for it. We should go back to the 70s. Like, you care about someone, you're like, hey, you're getting fat. But now it's fat shame. You can't say it to them. Or like all the stinky fat people should date each other so they can cancel out we can save money and don't put the poison on our body.
By the way,
I should be canceled.
The one deodorant, I don't know if it's Lumen or whatever.
Lumen, because this is a ripoff of Lumen, which was a big fat lady talking on the commercial about your thigh folds. And I was like, oh, God. And now she's all Ozempic.
No, she's
totally
worse.
Skinny.
She's worse. She goes, I don't know protocol, but she goes, my gynecologist told me about, and I'm like, oh, your gynecologist got a whiff of what you were cooking down there. Like, when it's not apropos to nothing. It's your gynecologist almost passing out when he has to do a pap smear going, you should find out. But it's like me telling my alcoholic buddy about going to AA, you know what I mean? Like, it's not for nothing. It's something, you know. When your gynecologist tells you something about stink, they're talking to you.
She does a backflip.
It's for you, not for other people.
Right. Home chef, do you find yourself eating the same thing over and over and over again? When you're feeling burnt out, you don't have time to search for meals, pick out ingredients, and learn how to cook something new. That's where Home Chef comes in. Home Chef gets it and is here to make meals easier and healthier, along with tons of variety, because that's the spice of life, people. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. I know everyone thinks you're saving money by going to the store, but do you get out of there for under $200 anymore? It's expensive. So let Home Chef do it. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. The one I tried that I loved recently was sirloin with hot honey and feta crema and smashed garlic potatoes. It's Home Chef, right, Dawson?
For a limited time, Home Chef is offering Adam's listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/Adam. That's homechef.com/Adam. For 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/Adam. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wow. Love me some O'Reilly Auto Parts. You know the jingle. They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and the parts knowledge you need for all your maintenance and repairs. I'm a car guy. I like turning a wrench, but I can't make the parts. I got to go to O'Reilly to get the parts, and O'Reilly has the parts. Used to go the one out in North Hollywood. Now I go to the one up on Foothill in La Crescenta. So whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, they are friendly. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. Do you have a male gynecologist?
No, I have a woman. I had an old Chinese gynecologist that put an IUD in me, and then I was taking it out. He goes, "You can keep it. It's good for 5 more years." I said, "I just don't want it." He's like, "You have to pay a new one." I said, "Okay." He goes, "No, you have to save money. You have to be a good Chinese girl." I'm like, "You're fired."
Really?
Yeah, he just worry about my future. He's like, "What happens if you want to one again? You have to pay extra. This one is good for 5 more years." It's not my
IUD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a woman now. She's a Korean woman. She's very
smart.
She's very aggressive. I like her.
No, listen. In the department, we're going to circle back. As a guy, when you're with a woman, you have preferences. Mm-hmm. You prefer that they not have been with this guy or your friend or your buddy or your brother or whatever. You have a preference. Well, your first preference is I'm the only one.
Yeah.
That's the first one. And then from there, it just kind of keeps going down. Mm-hmm. But getting peed on by the male escort, that's not what you're looking for. So when it comes to gynecologists, you're looking for woman, and you're looking of woman who's Korean or some ethnicity that we can't vibe with.
Yeah.
And she's not gonna get drunk and start talking.
Different species.
Yeah, different thing. That's what we want. Mm-hmm. Straight, good-looking dude is not what we want.
No.
Right? I came up with an invention a long time ago, and I really think this should catch on. The male gynecologist, don't worry, I'm gay package. Shows up with a picture of you and your boyfriend, shows up with the adopted kid picture, shows up with the gay flag, and we just convince every woman who comes in, well, the guys. And so when the husband or the boyfriend goes, this fucking gynecologist guy's good looking, here you go, relax. He's gay.
He's only fingering me.
Look at his office. He's
so
got
gay.
a picture of his adopted kid. He's got his boyfriend over there. He's got the gay flag swinging on it. It'd just be a package. Be like $89. You send in a picture of yourself. We'll match you with a guy. You know what I mean? We'll just get rando black or Chinese kid adopted. Put that on the desk. Put the stuff in the waiting room. Gay flag. Whatever. We're done.
Give you a golden doodle to walk around the block.
Yeah, golden doodle. We don't have to talk. We don't have to say anything. You'll get it when you show up.
Yeah. He just like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gay hand
And
motions.
Yeah.
I believe playing shares belief just like
Yeah.
I believe
Do
it's
you
just-
believe? So you got a woman.
Yeah, I had no choice. I had to take out the IUD. I had to go to a man. He was. I don't trust him. He's a nice man, but I just don't believe he just. This is what he chooses to do. I just don't believe. You can be a heart surgeon. You are Chinese. Why would you choose vagina?
Yeah.
I just don't know. He's straight. He's clean. He's nice. He has a wife and kid. I'm like, but you can be a real doctor. Like it's a real doctor for women, but it's not for men. It's like a hobby.
Yeah.
You're just good at it.
Yeah.
It's like someone who's good at fingering, like the fingering king. Like you're just you get paid to do your
Finger
hobby.
blast. That's all you do.
You don't work a day in your life because you are doing what you love.
It's true. My grandfather used to say that. He said to me, if you finger bang blast bitches for a living, you'll never work a day in your life. He told me that. I wish he told me that before I got into construction because I did feel like I worked back then. Yeah, he's right. The old man was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because you do hear the stories about the male, the middle-aged. There was a $10 billion lawsuit. I think it was USC where like the middle-aged male gynecologist for the gymnastics.
I dated a girl that went to him, and all the girls on the team complained about it. It was 2001. She was a diver.
Right.
Like,
So you. Yeah. You'd have to kind of go. What I'm saying is like when I hear about someone wanting to be a cop, I'm like, I just don't
Yeah,
want to
why?
have to shoot
Why?
black guys or pepper spray. I want to be a meter maid. You know what I mean? Like, you want to ruin people's days. You know, and, I'm like, and they go. Then half people go, "Hey, it's just a job," and I'm like, "Yeah, but why are you?" What I'm saying is I couldn't be a meter maid because when I was writing the ticket and putting it on the windshield, if the poor mom come running out of the salon with her hair in the curlers begging me, I couldn't go, so what? You know, I'd have to go, she was poor. She didn't have a nice car. You know what I mean? Like, I would feel like I couldn't do certain jobs because I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Conversely, you know, being the gynecologist for the USC gymnastics team, that sounds... that sounds more attractive to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's winning in life.
So you have to kind of go, wait a minute, why is he attracted to this? Because the thing about being a gynecologist, 852 million settlement, by the way.
Because he did it to every girl. The girls were literally talking about the creepy
He just dived in.
gynecologist. Yeah, I guess, no glove?
He dived
before?
in.
No glove? Yeah.
Okay.
A real pro.
Okay,
Dirtbag.
See, the thing that stopped me from being a gynecologist
Yeah.
is obviously there's a formal education thing that I probably couldn't have competed with. But what the thing about being a gynecologist is, yes, you will get the occasional USC cheerleader, but you're also going to get Mama Mayonnaise over there from baby.
The football queen.
Yeah, you're going to get some trouble.
Yeah.
And there too. You know what I mean? It's not all going to be spokesmodels and Vanna White.
Yeast infections.
You're going to get some trouble. You're going to get some chicks who have to use a lot of body spray.
Mother dog and the baker.
A lot of folds. You know what I mean? And that's going to keep you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, then you just, when you see a vagina, you don't know.
Right.
You're like, because you see the worst. You wouldn't know.
Right. But when you go, I'm only going to work for USC and I'm only going to do the gymnastics and the swimming team and the girls volleyball team, now that's a different story.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing. You ain't going to get any shot putters in there.
Oh, no. Those girls were still getting yeast infection.
I
He
know.
wasn't wearing a glove.
But think about what you're dealing with in the waiting room. Think about what's in the waiting room.
You can wear a
versus
mask.
Mama June, right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He worked hard to the top in order to be on the top so he can dive in.
And you're never going to see a gray pube. You'll never see a gray pube your whole career. It's just going to be the next graduating class, you know?
Yeah.
Boom, in there. Well, it sounds bad.
Hey, you're dark.
No, I'm just saying I don't trust that guy.
Yeah.
By the way, that guy should be a girl.
Why can't they hire a woman?
I know.
I would just go like the same difference if the janitor was a dude and the janitor was like, I got to go to the women's locker room and mop the floor. I'd be like, hand the mop to a woman. That's woman janitor goes in there. Man janitor goes in the man side. Like, I just wouldn't. Why even? Maybe some chick still in the shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even risking this.
Yeah, like they are Germanists. They all the women prefer have a female gynecologist.
The only thing that the security gets right at the airport is when you need to be patted down, they give you a chick or dude. They give you your own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll figure they don't let a dude pat down a chick.
I will see that guy, that doctor. Like, how good is he? Why did they choose him? What he look like? He's a man.
They finally caught him because he lost his wedding ring in there.
Oh, now it's too dark. Too dark.
Sorry, thought we were going there.
Total settlement.
I mean, is that diamond?
Total settlement payout, $1 billion.
Yeah.
852 million settlement for more than 700 women. The gynecology alleged 215 million class action settlement. It's so weird. You know the thing about it's kind of weird with women and everyone in general. You could be a person on this planet that just gets burned or shot or killed or something T-boned by an illegal with no insurance or whatever, like zero payout. Or Leonardo DiCaprio could drunk drive right inside your car and you get $28 million. You know what I mean? Like,
strange life.
you could be raped in some prison cell somewhere and walk out zero burger. Zero, historically. Or you can get $12 million because this guy got frisky. You know, it's a wide range, man. It's weird, right?
Everybody's trying to hit the lottery in their own way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cassie may have gotten paid a little bit.
She did.
But for every Cassie, there's 200 million women just get raped and thrown in an alley somewhere, right?
Without getting any...
Zero payday. Nothing. Yeah.
Life is not fair.
Life is not fair.
Let's try to be hot.
Now, I'm looking here, and it says, found an animated commercial for Novatix medication for opioid constipation. The one I always remember is a guy on a construction site, but this is maybe better. All right, let's see this one.
This helps me to manage my chronic pain, but it came with some baggage.
You're not the only one. Opioids block pain signals by attaching to something called mu receptors here, but they also attach to mu receptors in the bowel, and that can cause opioid-induced constipation, or OIC.
I could struggle with OIC the whole time I take my opioid?
Maybe not. There's Movantik. Movantik can help reduce OIC by blocking opioids from binding to mu receptors in the bowel. Do not take Movantik if you have a bowel blockage or a history of them. Serious side effects include a tear in your stomach or intestine, and can also include symptoms of opioid withdrawal. Common side effects include stomach pain, diarrhea, nausea, gas, vomiting, and headache. Tell your doctor about any side effects and about medicines you take, as Movantik may interact with them, causing side effects.
Go on.
All
Talk to your doctor.
It's all, we've lost.
They should have
It's
used
done.
Elvis as the lady.
Yeah.
Elvis sitting on the toilet like,
All right. Good news. Andrew, I don't see it on my list, and I don't know why, but maybe you're thinking of something, which is the Al Pacino and cruising, which is something we're talking about. Okay, so, yeah, we have it, but it's not on my list. It's weird. That's all we did was talk about it. All right. Al Pacino did a movie in 1980 called Cruising, and he played a New York undercover cop, and there was a gay serial killer. Turned out 5 years later, there really was a gay serial killer called AIDS. But this was just a gay serial killer who was just individually killing gay guys, stabbing gay guys, right? And Al Pacino, in 1980, agreed to make a movie where he was a New York cop who went undercover to infiltrate the leather gay scene in New York City. And it got weird. I mean, if anyone has seen this movie, it's weird because Al Pacino, the arc of his character was he started to go gay because he'd infiltrated this gay bar and this gay movement in weird leather 1980s New York, which is weird leather gay. You know, now we have, you know, happy, smart cocktail gay. This is pre-AIDS weird leather bandana gay. And I want you to find this out, Dawson, if you can. Did the whole bandana marker gay thing happen because of the movie? Because I think it existed before the movie, which is, and Jiaoying, you're too young and too innocent to know, but the bandana, you hung it out of your back pocket so the gay dudes knew what you wanted.
oh,
And knew who you were. Meaning, it's a dated reference, but there's a song called I Got a Brand New Pair of Roller Skates, You Got a Brand New Key. We can work together, but we don't need two keys. You see what I'm saying? We don't need two tops. We need a top and a bottom.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Two tops. That's like Tupperware. What
Yes.
good would Tupperware be with just two lids?
According to Wikipedia, they've been doing the gay handkerchief code since the 70s, and this movie came out in 80.
Yeah, I
Okay.
knew it. Somebody said the movie started, but I was like, nah, they're
Well,
not
I'm
smart
sure they
enough.
bumped up numbers of bandana sales after this movie.
Yeah, but so dudes are so great that see, dudes want to have sex, right? And straight dudes want to have sex, but they realize, okay, we got to go out, we got to buy salad. I got to pay for stuff. I got to pretend to listen. I got to act interested. I got to get to know her cat a little bit. And then maybe I can get laid. You know, we understand there's a ritual. But gay dudes, that's just two dudes.
Yeah.
That's two dudes deciding when to have sex. And the answer is
Now.
yesterday, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Why are we wasting time talking? So gay dudes just figured out, well, if it's up, if the dude is the gatekeeper, then there is no gate.
Yes.
We're in,
Yeah.
right? And even then, they decide to streamline it with the bandana system because I just want to know if you want to get peed on or you like to pee on me.
Yeah.
But we're gonna cut out any of the foreplay and any of the mystery. We'll just put the bandana.
Yeah.
So this is Al Pacino. Yeah, it's efficient. It's gay-efficient. Al Pacino goes into a bodega or tchotchke store and is talking to Powers Boothe, by the way, who played the pilot in Red Dawn, the downed pilot in Red Dawn. This is pre that role. He's the proprietor of the bandana store, and Al, who is a cop, posing as a gay dude, is going to ask about the bandanas.
Excuse me. Could I ask you about these?
What about them?
What are they for?
Well, like blue hank in your left back pocket means you want a blowjob. Right pocket means you give one. The green one left side says you're a hustler, right side you're a buyer. The yellow one left side means you give golden shower, right side you receive.
All right, hold on, pause. First off, imagine if you were a 1980s New York dyslexic gay. And you were like, oh, wait, peed on, shit. Yellow, what did he say? Yellow right side?
Left pocket?
Left
Or right-
pocket?
right?
You just, it'd be a ball of confusion. It'd be you and another guy peeing on each other. Wait a minute, I do the peeing. No, you put that. First, this is too much information.
Yeah, it's confusing.
I would need one of those quarterback wristbands where I just consulted, like when I was down in the gay club, going, okay, blue, wait, brown. Okay, yeah, I want a blowjob. I don't want to give a blowjob. Okay, so if I want to pee on him while he's giving me a blowjob, okay, I'll do the yellow and the blue.
Blue 42. Blue
We gotta call
42.
Diddy.
Omaha.
We gotta call Diddy. Diddy will.
Diddy.
Diddy has this.
All right, we'll play a little more of this because it's funny because it's Al Pacino.
Back pocket means you want a blowjob. Right pocket means you give one. The green one left side says you're a hustler, right side you're a buyer. The yellow one left side means you give golden shower, right side you receive. The red one means...
Thank you.
You see anything you want?
I'm gonna go home and think about it.
I like that the guy's making a hard pitch. This is 1980. A bandana was 79 cents. He's making a hard pitch for this bandana. And also, there's a few things. In movie, when you made a movie back in the day, any kind of movie, but especially a serious movie, the person who the star was going to talk to, who was behind the counter, had to have space work, had to have something to do. You couldn't just stand there with your arms by your side waiting for the guy to walk in.
Yeah.
If you were a bartender, it was 100% wiping glasses with a rag.
Yeah.
Every bartender in every movie, when they walked up and went, hey, Bob, what do you need? Ever seen this girl? It's like sitting there just
what can I
wiping
do for
and
you?
just wiping that. That's all they did is rub glasses.
Yeah.
They never made a martini. They never whipped up a blender. They never made a daiquiri. They just wipe and wipe and wipe. I've been to 1,000 bars, never seen a guy standing there wiping a glass. It's just sitting in the back. He's not
Jose's
doing
doing it
anything.
in the back.
They're wiping. And when you went into a store, the guy had to have the newspaper down and his head buried into it. And then you'd go, excuse me. And he'd go, what do you need, bub? Like that was his space work.
Yeah.
They
I
couldn't
see
stand
that.
there. There were no glasses to wipe.
Yes.
They just read and they got interrupted when you came in. That was their space work. That was Powers
So
Boothe.
funny.
That's a very gay name, Powers Boothe.
Very, very gay. And
All right, so what happened was I was doing Beat It Out, which is a show I do on Substack with Jay Mohr, and I knew Jay Mohr did a funny Al Pacino. So I said, Jay, when you come in here, he came in. I said, let's recreate this cruising scene with the bandana cruising scene. I'll be the proprietor. You be Al Pacino. So here it is. Oh, we don't have the sound. All right. We'll reboot it or we'll figure it out. Sound can be an issue. Oh, is it in the tape or is that on us? I mean, we not boot it up? I don't know what pointing at that screen means.
I'm not receiving any audio from the video.
No audio. All right. So we'll have to now there is there. All right, here it is. I'll play Powers Boothe. Okay, I'm the bandana proprietor.
What are all these for? Explain this to me. What are these?
Well, white means you like bukkake. White in the right pocket means you receive bukkake, and then white in the left pocket means you're part of the bukkake party and or gathering.
Yeah, bukkake adjacent.
Yeah.
Is there anything for fisting? Do you have a fisting bandana?
Yeah.
What's that one?
Well, we have a gray one with a fist stenciled on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of on the nose, but a lot of guys get pretty high from huffing our bandanas.
Ooh,
so
I saw that in the
we
last
have a
scene.
fist bandana. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask
Which
you a
also
question?
a hell of a Sylvester Stallone movie. I don't know if you remember the movie Fist, but
Fist.
apropos of nothing, that was one of his
How
better
much
roles.
for all the bandanas?
Well,
if I give you $20, here's what I'm thinking. I take all these bandanas, the whole tree of them.
You're talking about like a discount, a bulk discount
I
rate?
don't need a discount. I'm an honest man.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I'm a cop that plays outside the rules.
Well, there's what we call like a baker's dozen, right?
Sure,
we
like
get
13
an
or
extra,
14.
Yeah, every 12 bandanas you buy, I'll throw one in for free. But again, pick your color
I
wisely.
want all the colors.
Well, green means you're green in the right pocket.
You're not
means,
hearing me. I want all the bandanas, all the colors, and I'm going to tie them together and pull them out of my ass like a magic trick.
Oh, you're just going to keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or I could tie little knots and make my own Benoit balls. And
Benoit.
start my ass like a lawnmower.
We do have Benoit balls. They're in the gift case, by the way, if you
Well,
want to look
what
at
color
some of
are
those.
they?
Well, what color they start out?
Yeah.
I don't know. Jay Mohr is, gay Al Pacino.
There's
That's the craziest movie of all time.
yellow color in his water bottle. Is that pee?
Oh, Jay. Yeah, I think it's his drink. Ooh-ah. So
So good.
First off, that movie's crazy. Seeing Al Pacino in a tank
I gotta
top.
watch it. I gotta
I know
watch it.
how to watch
All
it.
the leather gay
Unfortunately,
guys. You know, my plan, which I thought would be awesome, is at the Academy Awards, when they give Al Pacino the Lifetime Achievement Award, they go, 50 years, over 120 movies. This genius has been on the silver screen. Let's take a look at some of his work. And Meryl Streep does the thing and the lights dim. It's only clips from Cruising. It's just Cruising clips. It's no other movie, no Dog Day Afternoon, no Heat, no nothing. It's just him dancing with gay guys in Cruising. That's the only clips they show before we bring Al up. That would be the greatest. I would think I would be the greatest day of my life if that's what they did. They would never do.
That would be actually cool to show that. 'Cause most people don't watch that movie. That shows how cool he is.
There's a clip that everyone on the internet knows, but they don't know it's from that movie.
Wow.
It's a giant black dude in a cup protector.
Oh, did you see that? Well, you know
I've
that?
seen that on the internet.
Oh, you
before.
have?
Yes. Did not know it was from Cruising.
Wow.
It's
We have to
from
watch
Cruising.
it. We have to watch it.
I would literally just show that clip over and over again for the Al Pacino
what I was
Lifetime
thinking.
Achievement Award. Andrew has it somewhere because I saw it.
Uh-oh.
Here it is. It's crazy.
Okay.
He opens the door.
So, dude who looks like Quentin Jackson in an athletic supporter and a cowboy hat who just punches him right in the face and walks off with his bare ass.
Who paid for the room? What was that?
This could be the greatest. By the way, what was that? I don't think was even in the script. I think he just said, "What the fuck was that?" I don't think the director told him what was happening.
good.
You know. Oh, that scene makes its rounds on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, but people don't know it's from Cruising.
I never knew. I
We have
saw
to
that and
watch
was
it.
like, what is that bizarre? Because I recognized Al Pacino and was like, oh, what? And then that happens.
I think we all need to
We have
reacquaint
to watch
ourselves with Cruising. Now, are we looking at the official poster here? Because I don't trust internet movie posters anymore.
It looks a bit 70s, though. Like, it looks a bit realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually that's it.
50%. I mean, look, it's consistent. The critics have it at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the people have it at 49%. So it's right. We agree. We definitely agree. All right. Let's see. We got some news.
We do.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with that right after this. Morgan & Morgan. Well, there's a dirty little secret that the insurance industry may not want you to know about, and that's that insurance companies profit by holding on to your money for as long as possible. So after an accident, they might do whatever they can do to delay or deny your claim. This way, they can keep the profits growing for themselves. Not for you, of course. Morgan & Morgan fights hard against these corporations to fight to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. I met these guys. I like these guys. And it's not, they're going against the man, not the little guy. When Morgan & Morgan takes on a case, they're almost always going after big insurance companies and not the individuals at fault. There's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. It's Morgan & Morgan, right, Dawson?
Hiring the wrong firm could be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. With Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to get started, and their fee is free unless they win. Just visit forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law #529. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law #529. This is a paid advertisement.
Homes.com. Well, some might say Homes.com is the best home shopping site. And it may be that Homes.com, they have a super comprehensive and transparent agent directory. That could be one of the reasons everyone loves it so much. Or maybe it's that Homes.com is the only site that always directly connects you with the listing agent who knows the home the best. But perhaps it's because Homes.com has the most in-depth neighborhood content of any home shopping site that's extensively researched to highlight the personality of each neighborhood. Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth info they need to find the right home. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. I'm a truck driver up in Alaska, and I got a call from a buddy that'll be working down there on the cleanup as a truck driver, moving the fire debris. Just want you to know that he's a brother.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I got to say, I was touring the devastation in Malibu last Sunday, saw a black dude wearing a hard hat on one of the job sites up in the hills. So now look, let me just say, so here's the angle. Black dudes don't do physical labor in this town. They do it in Atlanta. They do it in Kentucky. They do it in New York. Mm-hmm. They do everywhere. Mm-hmm. Not in L.A. No gardeners, no road crews, no guys spreading stucco. You don't see guys on a construction site. I've been through Palisades 10 times and Malibu, not seen one black person working. They'll give them the hold the sign job, but not the skilled work in the excavator job. And I don't know what's going on. I don't like it. And I would vote for any politician who just said, I'm going into the inner city. There's a bunch of kids. They're failing out of school. They're not going to college. They're 15. They're going to join a gang. I'm going to give them a trade. There's just a story that juniors in high school are coming out making $70K a year because they have a trade.
Yeah.
Teach them a goddamn trade, and then they're going to have at least a decade worth of work rebuilding Malibu, Palisades, and Altadena. And we need skilled tradespeople.
Yeah.
And listen, it's, working an excavator or a bobcat or driving a dump truck, pretty much any 17-year-old could figure it out in about a year. It's not that big a deal. When I was a carpenter, it took me about 10 years to become like a real carpenter, because you could be framing, or you could be doing finish work, you could be hanging a door, you could be building cabinetry. There's so many diverse, different aspects of it. But if you just go drywall, or you just go excavator, operation, heavy equipment, or you just go HVAC, or you just go electrician, or you just go plumber, or you just go foundation, 2 years, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're on the job. And by the way, you're on the job 40, 50 hours a week. You're there all day, every day. You if you want to do something pretty basic like rough framing, a year in, you pretty much know how to do it. You could take these poor kids that are falling through the cracks and have them have high-paying, skilled jobs. Yeah. And then it would go on forever. But nobody says shit. And no politicians ever said a word. And I don't like
busy with
it.
stupid stuff right now. I feel like they're not doing the real, helping the kids to
No, they're
doing
just
anything real for their life.
they're just, Maxine Waters, her district could use this, but she just goes on CNN and calls everyone a racist all day while her wig moves around.
And there's big business in getting those dudes locked up and then, churning them through that system.
I get, look,
It's a lot of money.
everybody wants to get paid. Big Pharma wants to get people hooked on whatever, and Big Prison wants to have inhabitants.
The courts too.
And they all want it. They all want it, but that's what I'm saying. That's where the politician intervenes and goes, no more. Here's what we're doing. We're bringing these kids. There's thousands of homes burned to the ground. We're going to need so many. We were trying to book a plumber, or an electrician, or framer. How many framing crews are there? There's thousands of houses. We could get these kids, coach them up cheap.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost that much, and get them on the job, man.
Yeah.
All right, but no one will listen to
That's
me.
a good solution.
Yeah,
We're
it's a good
listening,
solution.
Ace. We're all
We are
listening.
listening. Yes, we are posting this clip. We're tagging all the politicians to educate them.
All right, what do you got?
All right, first up, celebrity news. Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, Christopher, explains his dramatic weight loss transformation. Yeah. And the one food that he cut out apparently was bread.
Yeah. He gave it up for Lent, right?
Gave it up for Lent, and look, he went from that to this.
Yeah. Looks good. Dropped 30 or 40 pounds.
Good for him.
Got rid of all the folds. How many linear feet of fold do you think he got rid of?
At least 16.
At least 16 linear feet of fold?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
70% of the Great Wall is gone.
He gave it up, which is good.
And now he looks like his dad, kind of. Before he looked like Maria Shriver ate a blueberry.
It's also, it's got to be weird. I don't know how old he is, but if I was Schwarzenegger and my 23-year-old came in looking like a blob, I'd like, let me just pull out a picture of me when I was 23.
Yeah.
I think I won Mr. Olympia for the fourth time. I think I was the fourth time. Here's what your dad looked like when he was 23.
Yeah.
And this is what you look like.
A lot to live up to.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Schwarzenegger would be good. He's got a pet donkey, keeps in his house.
That's cute.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Pet donkey.
He got the maid pregnant, which is, see, when you get the maid pregnant, that just means you're horny.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you like the maid.
No,
that just
no.
means there's some dudes that are like more animal than human when it comes to sex.
Yeah, they don't see things. They can visualize someone else. I think they just need to do it.
It's like a dog will fuck a throw pillow because
Now I worry about
that's
the
it.
donkey.
Yeah. And here's the whole point. Schwarzenegger can get anybody he wants.
Yeah.
But he just takes the maid because she's closest to his dick.
Yes.
And so that's a dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like real estate. Location is everything. It's right here, right
location.
Yeah.
Yeah. He won his first Mr. Olympia trial at 23.
Wow.
It's funny that I said 23.
Yeah.
How old's his kid, though? How old's Porky the formerly fat? So he gave up bread for Lent, and now he's this. Oh, that seems, I don't know. I mean,
27.
It's
27. See, this is the problem with Ozempic, which is we don't know anymore.
We don't know. If he's rich, he has access to it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That's something that we don't talk about.
Well, if you did Ozempic, you'd still have to give up bread. I mean, you could do Ozempic and then just give up stuff. This just helps you give up stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to diet. I don't understand people that get into. I mean, once you eat yourself to a certain level, I just, you know what I mean, look myself in the mirror and go, what the hell is going on?
Well, you're disciplined. You're the athlete, so it's different. You are weak.
Listen, I agree with Mayhem. Look, when people go, well, you get the Ozempic so you don't eat. I go, or you cannot eat shit.
Yeah.
Just
or
don't
you
eat.
could exercise. Or it's all there. It's on the fucking table.
It's
You
easy.
just go do it.
Just don't eat. His fat is going to last him 60 months. He won't die.
I like that they caught him with a couple of Rolling Rocks, too, you know?
Yeah.
Like double fisted.
I like that.
I wonder why you got tits.
Yeah.
Oh, huge.
All right. Well, good for him.
Very good.
for
Very good.
Schwarzenegger. And he has the other son that's the maid's sired.
Oh,
or he's sired for the maid, right?
Is that
It's a
the guy in
young
White
kid.
Lotus? No.
No.
Different. Yeah, the White Lotus kid's a different kid.
Yeah, he's Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did well.
He did great on that show. Yeah, it was pretty
Did you
awesome.
watch White Lotus?
Yes, I thought it was great. I like the girl with the gap teeth. She was good. She was a good actress. But Lisa, the K-pop star, her role was just so.
I
just
know.
Nothing.
Oh, she's Korean?
Well, they
She's
really pumped her
Thai,
up.
I think. She's Thai. She's beautiful. She's talented, but her character just like It's just kind of waste of time for them to get her to do something basic.
To prove that they were in
Yeah,
Thailand.
she should be like doing something crazy, or she's like actually have a penis, something fun and cool.
Yes.
So is this episode or this season as good as the season before? Better?
I think the first one
awesome.
was the best one. First season is the best one, but this one is pretty good. If they cast me, it would be better.
They should have cast
They
you.
should.
They should have,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can play a lady boy. I can fuck a Sam Rockwell. I'll be like, yeah. Do you want that bit? No. Do you want
Too much.
you want this egg roll? Egg roll?
All right. What? We took it back. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
Let's
cool.
keep going.
Next up, you're going to like this. California Governor Gavin Newsom unveils his homelessness plan to clear the street camps. Finally, this year, it's going to work.
Okay.
What is
Look,
he
can
had
we
to hire
just
me?
can we just say this? I wrote a tweet about this today, but I really mean it. I don't think people really understand this. If the state you run has tons of people strewn about, sleeping in the street and dying in the street, then you're doing a shitty job of running your state. Like you could go, I want to measure the GDP.
No.
Or I want to measure homes built. Or I want to measure the average income. Or whatever. You could do, or the school stuff, If you have people flopped out all over the place, dying in the street, then you are doing a piss poor job of running whatever place you're running. I don't care what the school systems are. I don't care how many churches you have. I don't care what the average income is of the family. I don't care what anything. If there's people flopped in the street dying, then you're doing a shit job. That's
right.
it.
And
that's
their
all I
plan
need. That's
sounds
all I need to know.
Pretty clogged up. The ordinance prohibits encampments that block free passage on sidewalks and in persistent locations, and includes a requirement that local officials provide advance notice and alternate shelter to people in encampments prior to cleaning them.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of red
Who's
tape.
paying for that?
It doesn't matter.
The taxpayer,
we paid
not
$24
you.
We are paying
billion.
for it.
We got nothing. It's just zero tolerance. Clean it up. Not for me or for me, but for them too.
But hey, so listen to this, okay? The model ordinance is not a flat directive, giving local municipalities a guideline and effective choice to implement the policy.
All right. Well, the blue cities aren't and the red cities are. I mean, look, you go to cities that are run correctly. Like you go to Orange County, you don't see any of the shit because they're red and they're run correctly. And then you go to the blue cities and they're run like shit and there's people everywhere. So sorry. And also stop mistaking people shooting up drugs and sleeping in their own filth as compassion. That's not you having compassion for that person. That's you letting them die in the street.
Yeah.
And us stepping over them. Newsom, there's some sort of disconnect that the left has with homelessness that misses the point and the cause, and they do it volitionally. They do it intentionally, but I don't know why they need to turn it into a political point, which is kind of to say, like, all right, I'll give you all right, let's break down the game film. The left, most Democrats, a lot of left, the border was open, essentially, for the last 4 years. It was ostensibly open. And the word got out to the world that the border was open and people were flowing through. And then they were taking these people and like relocating them all over the place. Now you go, why would Joe Biden do that? Like, what's in it for him to do that? And you go, well, these people, all 12 million of them or 20 million or whatever the number is, we don't have a count because we don't know, they're going to vote Democrat. So if you were saying to me, all these people were going to come in, like if you said, Adam, you're in charge of the border. I was like, okay. Now, we're a sovereign nation. We need you to do a good job protecting our nation at the border. And I was like, okay, yeah, all right. But all those people are going to subscribe to your podcast if they can get here. I'd be like, okay.
Bienvenido.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got it. And then I would stall for 4 years because I know every single person that came here is one more listener for me, right? And then you'd go, Adam, what's going on at the border? And I'd go, hey, man, I told Congress to do something about it, but they wouldn't listen to me. I can't do nothing myself. There's nothing I can do. I told my vice president to go down there, put her in charge. Well, she's never been to the border. Well, she's around, though, you know? And then I just sat there and just kept stalling while everyone came across. Now, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get more people to vote for them. That's a strategy. And, you know, politics, that's how it works. You may ruin the country, but you're going to be in power for the rest of your life. Okay, good. I get what they're doing. Homelessness, I don't get what they're doing. What's in it for you? Why is this? Why you're ruining your state and you're pissing off all the taxpayers? Why is this? Why are you perpetuating this? What's in it for you? Why are you doing this? Gavin Newsom, when he was sitting right when you're sitting, I got a 42-second clip. He was telling me that the homeless problem, I told him it was drug addicts and insane people.
Yeah.
Which is 100% of the homeless problem.
Yeah.
And he told me it was moms.
Moms?
With 2 kids who are just divorced with a full-time job. That was a real, I'll play it to you. This is the guy who's going to solve homelessness in
I'm
the
a
studio.
mom. I had no money when I got divorced. I have $0.
All right. Should have divorced me. Here we go. This notion of like the guy's a hardworking, God-fearing family member who lost his job and now had to take to the streets is total and utter bullshit.
But what about the picture of real homelessness, which is a poor mom with 2 kids with a husband who took off and left her, who's sitting there struggling on that minimum wage job, and all of a sudden now is out in the streets and sidewalks desperately trying to find some help, get her life back, can't get those kids into child care.
I think that's what happened to
All right,
Jewel.
pause it. What is he talking about? What is he discussing? The thing that has never happened?
Movie, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
How's that guy going to solve homelessness when he doesn't know? What's he doing politically? Why is it up? Why does he want to scramble this the way he wants to scramble it? He doesn't. He knows that's not what it is. It's fucking junkies.
That mom sounds like a Meghan Markle. It's just the mom with 2 kids left the palace.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? It's first of all, in China, drugs are not legal. If you are caught doing cocaine, it's death sentence. So just shoot them. And then if someone is crazy, put them in place where for the crazy. It's clean. The street is clean. Nobody's paying nothing. Why would I pay for someone's drug problem? Fuck them.
Well, how would he ever solve homelessness if this is his version of homelessness?
Because actually, he knows what's going on.
Well, he said a few things. He said he was wrong like 8 times in 21 seconds. He was like, mother of 2 who's divorced. By the way, you can't just get divorced in California and just leave. You know, there's courts, there's child support, there's payments, there's...
Unless a Chinese man from Shanghai, that could happen, but it's very rare.
You're gainfully employed. But the point is that mother moves back in with her mother and lives in the spare room with her 2 kids.
Yeah.
By the way, he said the mom had a full-time job, too.
Yes. So moved to a studio apartment.
He found a person that does not exist, that no one's ever seen, that's never happened, and then he decided that was the true face of homelessness, which means he's insane. But not the guy to solve the problem.
If he don't see the problem the right way, he ignored the problem.
What's bizarre is today it seems like you totally agreed with them down to the word, because the quote from this article is, "There's nothing compassionate about letting people die on the streets."
If you are going to choose to shoot cocaine, you should die. What can I do for you? I'm an alcoholic. If I keep drinking, I'm going to die. Should you pay for my fucking kids? No. Fuck me.
That's why I love
fucking fix your problems. You're a fucking loser. You're weak and you have a problem. Go to rehab. You can't afford it. Don't do it or kill yourself. I don't know.
I mean, there's no rehabs. There's no asylums for all these inmates. Like, everybody's poured out on the street. There's nowhere to put them. You know what I mean?
Well, look, listen, they spent $24 billion. They built fucking camps in the desert.
Desert is a good place to go. Yeah.
Because here's first off, I told him it's mental people and drug addicts. And he's like, but what about the real face?
Get out of here.
What's the real face?
The mom.
Meghan Markle left the palace. She lives in the mansion next to Oprah. It's not as good as used to be, but she will be okay. She's a size 2. She's fine.
Jiaoying, do you get disgusted at the rich women who try to pretend like they're ordinary women? Like, I have to get up in the morning, I have to make everyone lunch, and then I have to drive them to 2 separate... You understand, my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old go to 2 different private schools, so I got to drop them off at both of those. Oh, cry me a river, bitch.
I want to spit on her face and give her COVID. Just to think it's just so gross. Just be real. It's okay. Like, that's why I like the Kardashians. But they are honest. They love money. They're just honest. And but like, I hate when Meghan Markle just her cooking show, and she just I miss my son. I miss him when I'm traveling. I would make a video reading a book and send my mate to play. FaceTime him, bitch. FaceTime him, bitch, you fucking fake piece of shit. She's so gross. I
hate her.
I can't. Someone just say something about it. It's ridiculous.
There's something that drives me nuts. And you know what? I don't have a lot of cultural appropriation for me. I'm just a white dude from the Valley. But I'll tell you what's cultural appropriation for me. Pretending to be poor. I fucking hate that. I don't know why it drives me nuts when they pretend to do regular stuff or poor stuff or whatever that shit is. Bullshit.
Yeah, she's talking about the LA rioting and there's snow everywhere. People are shooting. She was in Palm Springs. Her father sent her to Palm. She went to Harvard Westlake. She's fine. She's like, I was so poor. I never knew the Queen. You have a photo of you standing in front of the Buckingham Palace, and she said, I don't know the Queen. What is the Queen? She was on a show suit. Queen's face is on the fucking currency of Canada, fucking bitch.
I met her husband. He was a nice guy.
I mean, he's dumb. That's why she's with him. If he had brain, he's not gonna take.
I agree. I don't like I never knew who this person was before. Really, not a lot of people don't have armed security details around them. Normal folk. You know what the greatest one is? Karl Malone, NBA legend. Karl Malone. Karl Malone's in the. He's in the Hall of Fame. I don't know, top 5 scorer of all time. Karl Malone, nicknamed the Mailman.
The Mailman.
His wife claims she thought he was an actual mailman. He was at the mall signing autographs with a line like 300 people long. You think that's what postal carriers do?
6'7".
6'7", black guys chiseled out of granite. Yeah, he's dropping off the penny saver at the house. That's what he does. He's got a pith helmet. He's got a cart with 3 wheels and a handbrake.
Oh my God.
By the way, do you really need the brake?
Oh, I was imagining him in that little stupid car with the
I'm picturing the 3-wheel cart and he's pushing around with the handbrake on it.
And high shorts, khakis, but they're blue.
Yeah. All right, we hate Meghan Markle, right?
I can't stand fakeness. I just it's okay. She want to be Princess Diana. I know she want die, bitch, die.
Yeah. Also, she's always claiming racial profiling,
She's
racial this and
Italian,
that.
first of all.
When
Your
you
hair.
look at her, there's nobody who goes, get that black chick out of here.
Yeah,
like
she-
you just look at her. She doesn't present. You don't think that way. There's
She
no.
has natural black hair, but she bleached it every day to make it straight like an Asian cunt. She look like a fucking geisha. I'm like, what are you talking about?
She's passing.
Yeah, enjoy your beauty. Have an afro, you know. So
she doesn't have afro.
She did has the hair, but she does the treatment for
She has
so
kinky hair.
So her hair look chinky.
Chinky or kinky?
Chinky.
Oh, one
Like
from
Chinese.
kinky to chinky?
Chinese, like straight Chinese chinky hair, like geisha.
Kind of
Just like you're not black. Come on. You are Obama. You're half black.
All
right, you guys.
One more. 1.5. 2 more.
You guys travel a lot. A woman divides the frequent flyers after bringing a whole rotisserie chicken through airport security.
Oh, she's hot. She can be
she's
forgiven.
She's a really hot Instagram type girl. Yeah, everybody's fired up. I want to get your opinions on this.
All right, here's the thing. I bring in, okay. Once you're inside the airplane, it's like you're in a prison.
Yeah.
Okay? And like, remember once in a blue moon, like in your shitty junior high, some kid would show up with McDonald's and you'd be like, oh. Now outside, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Inside, highly coveted. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And also it smells good, you know? And so once in a while, someone will get a Chipotle burrito or In-N-Out burger or something to be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like being tortured. Now, as long as we're all eating the same slop, I don't care. But you got the In-N-Out burger and I can smell it from where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
I think you can eat whatever you want, but the smell can't waft. If I'm sitting 3 rows back going,
yeah.
oh, I wish I had that breakfast burrito so bad right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go offer that guy $72 to have one bite. I'll offer you $70. I just want one bite of that breakfast burrito. Like that's torture. You can bring melon slices. You can bring anything cold. You can bring, if that's rotisserie chicken and it's cold, I don't care. But if anything that wafts and has that savory smell, it's torture.
I ate really good before the plane one time. Got on the Southwest, did the gamble, said, okay, I'll sit next to this lady, hot lady, like this lady. And as the plane was filling up, I had to make a choice. Southwest, I said, screw it. I'm going to sit next to this hot lady and let some skinny little dude sit right here. So this little black dude busted out the stinkiest, most disgusting chicken sandwich and made me watch him wolf it down. I wanted to vomit the entire time.
Right.
There's stinky food. That's scary.
Here's let's say this.
Biggest mistake.
I think the plane should be treated like the movie theater when I was a kid. You're not allowed to just bring your own candy in there. You want candy, you buy it at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Like you want a hummus box, it's $11. They'll give you a hummus box. They'll give you some trail mix or some Fiesta mix snack. You can buy a Coors Light or whatever it is, but you don't get to pack on your own food.
Yeah.
And for flights under 2 hours, no way. You're flying from here to Phoenix. You don't get to bring your own smorgasbord out there.
Yeah,
it's like you're going to be in the air for 47 minutes, bitch.
You
Lump
won't
it.
die from hunger.
You have a fucking bite at the airport. Go by Guy Fieri's stand.
Bust out a charcuterie board.
You want to know a power move? I don't think you would have ever done this, but
yeah, tell me.
maybe you would have done it. Mayhem would have done it.
Yeah.
Me and Mike August sitting at the Burbank airport. The guy, I don't care how rich I ever get. I'm never going to be rich enough to go by Guy Fieri's stand and pay $27 for a salad and $31 for a sandwich. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, I don't care how much money I have.
No.
I'm not paying $28 for a fucking tuna sandwich.
That's a bad deal.
It's morally wrong.
Morally wrong, and you're going to be punished by money god.
It's
He's gonna
ugly.
make your poor
The
next
money
life.
god. The
He
money
will punish
god.
you for
The
being an
baby
asshole.
golden Buddha.
Yeah, he will
He's gonna punish
you.
me.
The next
No, I
life,
like
you
that.
won't be rich.
Next life, I'll be drinking my own urine with
Yes, you have
Lyoto
to tell.
Machida.
Yeah. That's how money god works. I don't do that kind of shit. I go to the United Club. I put everything in my bag for 2 years.
Good.
I bag up. I go to the Apple. I said, me from a certain country world. Me hungry, and I just keep bagging things.
I tell you.
I got regulars by a fit. I'm like, no, I'm not this English. No,
August,
not me.
August couldn't make it into the United Club last time I was on the road. I took a plate, filled it full of food, put it in my backpack, put the lid plate on it, and carried it like I was carrying a pillow with golden slippers on it, out of the place. It should have been suspicious, me carrying my backpack like I was making an offering
Very
or
classy.
something, But I walked that shit right through the terminal, pulled the shit out. Mike and I sitting at Burbank. Person next to me gets the full Guy Fieri salad and the full Guy Fieri sandwich, takes a bite out of each one, gets up and leaves to go make their plate. Plain. Mike and I just look at that sandwich and go, let's get that shit. We just reached over.
Get the meat out.
We brought it over. We ate the whole thing.
I love that. I'm very
Salad,
proud.
everything. Demolished. No problem.
I've never connected with anyone deeper than this.
Really? This is important bonding we're doing,
we
right?
are good friends.
Yeah. You would do it too?
Oh, for sure. I totally do it. I would totally do it.
We didn't even eat around the part where the person bit into. We just went right in. We started, you start on the side of the sandwich that's not the bite side, but you make your way to the bite side.
Yeah, then it's like,
at some point you're in.
Yeah.
But you ate the germs backwards, so it doesn't matter.
I started from the back and worked my way to the germ.
Germ is good for you. I don't take any medication. When I get sick, I don't take a cold. I have never taken. I didn't even have that
That's why you're a warrior.
when I was giving a baby. I'm like, this is for the weak. I want to feel the pain.
I love that.
So I can abuse my son. I
But
have to feel the pain.
also, what kind of mind buys $56 worth of Guy Fieri shit, throws it out on the table, takes a bite and a half, and just goes, I'm good, and then just gets up and starts walking down the terminal. Didn't even throw it. I would pack that shit up.
Yeah.
I'd grab napkins and make a piñata out of that shit and put it in my backpack and carry it onto the plane.
Yeah, that person is the money god's slave. He's done.
Next life trouble.
He's not gonna last. He's gonna be poor very soon. He's like he won a lottery. Like when poor people won a lottery, they are homeless next day because they don't deserve it. This guy's money came from somewhere not legal. He did not earn it. He did not enjoy it, and he's gonna be poor very soon. And
then Mike and I are going to be conversely rewarded in heaven for eating all the sloppy seconds of people leaving stupid food at an airport.
Money god is erect.
I agree.
Very proud.
Okay. What are we talking about? Oh, food.
On the plane, yeah.
Listen, no food, no dogs, no boom boxes, no nothing.
Dog belong to food anyway, so.
Well, let's say this. Look, there is, if you think about it, an airplane, especially in coach, you got 145 people in a space that could comfortably house 18 people. Yeah. Like if you're really thinking about it, you have packed, I can't even stand up straight, you packed all this humanity into almost no cubic feet, right? I mean, there's never been that. It'd be like if an Uber showed up and you put 11 people in a Camry. That's basically what flying is. And I'm just saying, your own personal food, your own personal dog, you're farting, belching, it's all off in this because of we're so fucking confined for this period of time that whatever it is you do on the ground when people are spaced out, you cannot do here.
Yeah, it's a slum in prison. You just basically you don't breathe, just hold your breath, don't fart, just be a good person. Do better.
Yes.
You should do better.
And also, this guy, you should have to earn a license, not a pilot's license, but a license to fly, to be a passenger. The last time we came back we flew coach to Florida, took with a layover, it took 12 hours to get to this gig. The person behind me treated my seat like it was a grab bar and he was getting off the toilet. And he was a fat guy. Every time this person got up, they just grabbed my seat and went, huh, and I was like, doink. And I'm like, you're 45. And you're not aware of the concept that you're getting up out of your seat and you're grabbing my seat and pulling it back 3 inches and then letting it go like a wrist rocket. I'm springing forward like, Do you not know this?
He invaded your space. He got on your lawn. You should shoot him.
I agree.
You should punch him. Be like, hey.
You're unaware of the fact that you grabbing the seat in front of you and flexing it. Like, I get it. It's easier for you to get up that way. I got to do the Bart Connor, double bar. I do the move, but you do know this, right? Have you flown before? Has anyone told you this?
It's catapult, Carolla
just kept
forward.
pulling. He just kept pulling on it, and then letting it. And I look back, it's like 43-year-old white dude. I've probably been flying for 25 years. Like, does anybody?
Nobody say anything. People are so woke. I have a baby kicking my seat, just nonstop and kicking and laughing. I'm like, control your baby.
Oh my God.
This woman's like, excuse me? I said, you heard me. I speak English. Control your baby. She's like, it's a baby. I said, I had one too. Mine don't kick because I slap him.
Right.
She's like, I said, I'm serious. I'm going to say it every time if he kick me.
No.
She's like, you're going to traumatize him. Like, he deserves it. He needs it. He'll be a better person that way.
Do people that just let their kids just run roughshod on
they think kids are special.
It's like a fucking control your fucking animal.
Yes, control your baby. That's what I said. She was just like, that's rude.
What do you think about the uncontrollable crying? I had a kid 2 hours nonstop. I would put a sweat jacket over his head.
Yeah,
I would have muffled that kid.
If the baby's crying, as a mother, you get your fat ass up, you carry the baby, put your nipple in his mouth, and walk around in the bathroom and just suck, put the nipple in the baby and sit in the bathroom. Just like, don't embarrass, because the baby shouldn't. It just is bad for the baby. Next time he cries, he's gonna grow up being a little bitch, and people are gonna beat him up, and it's gonna be bad. He has to know, don't disturb other people, right? Be a good person. It's not good for the baby. Like, my baby's crying, huh? No, you hide this little shit somewhere. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Put a nipple in his mouth, cover it up, and just shake it. Just shake it.
Shake it with the nipple?
Yeah, and play white noise in the ear. Just don't, like, you can't do this to human. Like, there's so many people. The karma of that baby, like, people have grudge. They hold a grudge. They don't say anything like, oh, fuck this baby. Like, it's like a prayer. You pray for someone, the good things happen to them. All people, like, there's like a lot of people pray for someone. If someone's like, fuck that baby, disgusting baby, in their heart, the grudge is going to cause bad karma.
Grudge.
Yeah, people hold towards this idea.
Garage is where you keep your car.
A grudge. Grudge. I can't say it. Grudge. Like
that's good.
Like a mouth, dick in my mouth. Grudge. Okay, grudge. Like
the grudge.
Look at the grudge. People, the hatred. I mean, whatever. The hatred towards your baby is gonna cause him bad things in his future. It's not for
the
you.
mileage gods will frown upon
I
her.
like where your head's at.
Yeah, it's not.
So the guy who left the Guy Fieri food's gonna get the bad, poor karma gene in his next lifetime.
Yes.
Me and Mike August are going to be rewarded handsomely for eating
fire mouths in
every fucking sloppy left behind us, right?
Yes.
And the baby is going to get bad Buddha karma because everyone is a plane. It's like, would you shut the fuck up? Would you shut up? So here you are. You're like 13 months old, and you have 50 people
cursing
all
you
with the bad juju.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yes, as a mother, your job is to protect your baby's future and his karma. You go to the bathroom and you shut him up. Yeah, karma is real.
Yeah.
And it's a bitch.
And it's in the garage.
It's in the garage.
Garage. You ever have a big garage match back in the day when in the UFC?
Always.
Chinese are crazy. That's how my mind works. I'm not a nice person.
No, but it's good.
Efficient.
It keeps people in line.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
You are not winning by being an asshole.
You don't want people holding a garage against your kid.
I can't drive. So
you want that kid held in the garage?
Yes.
All right. I think we've said about all we can say. Good news. Morgan Langley is out there. Cops. Guess what season Cops is on?
26.
Not bad.
Wow.
Chelling.
Is it Chicago Cops? I don't know.
Yeah. Now, how would you say a grunge band?
What's grunge band? What does that mean?
Grunge band.
Grunge band.
Yeah. Say a garage grunge band.
A garage band.
Say the grudge.
Let's make a sentence.
Yeah.
Let's make a sentence. Okay.
The garage grunge.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam was a garage grunge band that held a grudge against their manager.
Pearl Jam is a grunge band that hold a grudge against her manager.
Oh, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm like a monkey. I can learn.
It's damn good.
Thank you.
Much better than I'd ever anticipated. 36 years Cops has been on. Damn. 36 years. 1 year longer than you've been on this planet. How about that? All right, We'll talk to Morgan right after this. Simply Safe. Well, you want to feel safe when you're at home. Everyone wants to feel safe when you're at home. You deserve to feel safe when you're at home, and that's where Simply Safe comes in. Traditional security systems, they only take action after someone has already broken in. That's too late. Simply Safe is setting the new standard in home security. Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection can help prevent break-ins before they occur with AI-powered cameras backed by live professional monitoring agents. Well, they'll monitor your property to detect any suspicious activity, and they'll nip it in the bud. Monitoring plans are affordable. They start around $1 a day. $1 a day for peace of mind. These guys have been a longtime sponsor. Everyone here has always used Simply Safe. They're great. And if you have to move, you take your system with you because there's no hard wiring. It is Simply Safe, right, Dawson?
You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/Adam. Just head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Stream all the movies and shows you love for free on Pluto TV. Say what now? Showtime. That means drama is free with heart-wrenching stories from Love and Basketball, Power, and Greenleaf. In this family, we live by the Spirit. And laughter is free with gut-busting comedies like Key and Peele, The Neighborhood, Everybody Hates Chris, and Boomerang. Watch all the hits, all for free, from all your favorite devices.
Oh my God, I love it!
Feel the free Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Adam Carolla Comes Clean, now available on the Angel app, is the fastest special to 2 million views in dry bar history.
Joe is, he's getting a little up there. At the end, I think they wanted him to stay on the prompter because when he got off the prompter, he got into trouble. But even when he stayed on the prompter, he got into trouble. Remember that speech? 4 more years. Pause. That's not Joe's fault. Someone put the word pause on the prompter. If it's on the prompter, he's saying it.
Watch Adam Carolla Comes Clean free on Angel at angel.com/Adam free. And join the Angel Guild and save 50% on your first 3 months at angel.com/Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla Comes Clean. Now available through Angel Studios. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Well, serendipity. Morgan Langley's here. He just told me off there. He goes, "Oh, watch your clean special on Dry Bar. Enjoy it."
Funny, man.
Thanks.
Good stuff.
You watch Dry Bar stuff?
I just happened to see your special, and I was like, "Oh, Adam Carolla's doing a clean special."
Yeah, it was weird.
And did you was that a challenge to yourself?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Definitely a
That's what I
challenge.
figured, right?
Oh, it was right up there with Dancing with the Stars. I was like, I can't dance.
But it's a funny special.
I'm good. I'm glad you saw the first one. I think there's a second one. That's
Right,
up there
I saw the first one.
too.
Yeah.
Cops, 37 years, by the way.
Yeah, it's crazy. We premiered with Cops Spring Break on Fox Nation April last month, and then it's kind of confusing. The season 36 is still airing, and then the rest of season 37 premieres in September. So
now, where are we with Cops? Not the TV show, but law enforcement. In that, you know, I grew up watching Adam 12.
Right.
Now we're in some weird point where people are pushing cops and throwing stuff at them and dumping water on them and stuff. And I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for in a society.
You know, a lot of people don't know this, but 2020, there were more ambush killings of cops than any year in something like 30 or 40 years.
Really?
Yeah, that's a fact. And then also one thing we've noticed was there was kind of a cops before the pandemic, right?
Right.
You knew the guys on Spike, Sharon and Kevin, all those guys.
Yeah.
We were in business with them for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Sharon Levy.
She's great. There was kind of a standard that we were used to with that show, and then the pandemic happened, and there was the cancellation of the show and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we brought it back, the world had changed, my friend. The world had changed. If you look at season 35, 36 or 37, any of the new stuff, you will see what I'm talking about. And to your point, there's a lot of disrespect. Like the police are trying to de-escalate now because they've been trained to de-escalate.
Right.
But people are challenging the fuck out of them all the time.
Yeah. So we have put forth a very destructive and dangerous narrative that is basically driven by the left and CNN and, black politicians and the race hustlers, which is anytime a black person is killed by law enforcement, even if they're not really killed by law enforcement, or even if they're wrestling, trying to get their gun away, or where they have a heart attack in the middle, whatever, they just go full into propaganda mode.
The media has been a huge part of the problem, of course.
Yeah. But what it is, it's a two-way street, because very recently, and Andrew, you can look this up, but I don't know, a week and a half ago, they just acquitted the all-black 5, I think, police officers that beat to death this young black guy in the street.
Yeah, noticed, yeah.
Now, CNN not interested in that story. They're not interested in the narrative of that story. So it's two things. You can either go, like if you're trying to create a narrative, you got to go another case of a white cop killing a black citizen. If you show black cops killing a black citizen, then it screws with your narrative. So what CNN does is they go 24/7 on the white cop and the 5 black cops who beat to death a black citizen. And by the way, it's much more egregious than any of the ones they're holding up.
And to the point that you're making, which I do think is important, for a while there on
Tyree Nichols was the person that was beat to death.
But like media outlets, MSNBC or CNN, if you tried to actually quote data to them,
they don't want to hear it.
Right, about police shootings. Well, you can go to the Washington Post database. That anybody can track this, or you can read Roland Fryer, or you can actually get factual information about this stuff. And when you do, it's disturbing, because if you'd taken a poll up until very recently, 2020, 21, 22, and you said, guy on the street, how many unarmed black people are being shot by the police?
Yes.
You would have got numbers in the thousands. That's what they would have told you.
Yes.
So the media did create an impression that this was like a war on black people.
Yes.
And that is concerning.
Well, it's concerning because the young black guy who's getting pulled over thinks he has to fight the cops in order to survive, because CNN has told them there's a target on his back and he's going to be executed in the street. So there's that part of it. So there's the part where you actually get more black people killed because of your propaganda campaign. And then there's a part of it where you just generally create strife between races. You're going to start a race war.
If you doubt that this, everybody's seen the George Floyd video. If you doubt that this happens sometimes to white people, then go watch the Tony Timpa video, right? Have you seen that?
I've not seen.
It's a white guy who gets treated arguably even worse than that, right? Somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
And I don't have all the context for it, but the point is nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about that video.
The worst cop shooting in cop history was the execution that took place in, was it New Mexico? Mark Garagos.
I agree 100% with you, where the guy was running and the cop shot him in the back.
No,
that was
I'm talking about
egregious.
where the guy was crawling through a hallway of a hotel and the cops executed him laying on his belly.
I know the one in the park where the guy ran and the guy shot him in the back, and I saw that and I went, that's indefensible. You can't.
No, this is worse. This is worse.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
This isn't a cop killing. It's an execution of a citizen.
Yeah,
it's like literally knocked on the guy's hotel room, came out in basketball trunks, no shirt or anything, just laid on the ground, begged for his life, and they smoked him.
That's why the narrative.
But nobody cares.
That's why the narrative is so detestable and so concerning, because these are things we should all care about, right? We should care about these things. But to put forth a narrative that is, there's one group of people who's being uniquely threatened by law enforcement, and to perpetuate that widely is dangerous. And if you were if you were sort of not a person of color at that time, you certainly could not comment about it for years and years.
I think,
and now people are, I think, heads have cooled. People have put it in the proper context to some extent, at least. Most people.
I think what we're dealing with as it pertains to themes. So it's like COVID had a theme.
It certainly did.
And COVID was mostly all bullshit, but with a strong theme. And so what you
great narrative, yeah.
What you had is, I don't know, 15 or 20% of the people buying the bullshit, like mainlining the bullshit. Right. And then you probably had another 20 to 25 who were just sort of in for the bullshit ride. And then you had the 50% that were like, I'm just going along with this because I don't want to get into trouble.
Sure.
And anytime you have a large populace of people just going, I don't want to get into trouble.
Yep.
I don't want to get into trouble. I'll go along with it. So you take something like COVID, all bullshit, or mostly all bullshit with a bunch of scared people. And then you take something like the whole transgender thing, like everyone's fucking 14-year-olds getting their tits cut off, and like, I just don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble. And then you have the white cops are executing black people, and the biggest danger we have is white supremacy in this country. It's not black on black crime or whatever. And you have a whole bunch of fucking people going, I don't want to get in any trouble. I'm going along for the ride.
Absolutely.
You are the cowards, and you are perpetuating this.
That is
do not expect CNN or Al Sharpton to intervene.
That's an important
They're
point.
not going to intervene. Fauci's not going to intervene with COVID, and neither is Biden. And neither is Gavin Newsom. They're cowards that are politicized and they're bought and paid for. They're doing their job. You understand?
I agree.
It's you fucking pussies that put your fucking head between your legs and go along with it, which perpetuates this.
You know,
and that's why there's a pox on you, because the other people are just teachers, unions, leaders. Everyone wants to get paid. What about you?
Yeah, I hear
You're
you.
the fucking cowards,
So,
and you could stop it.
There were some people who spoke out at the most,
Other than that, I have no
most
opinion.
heated moments. There were some people Glenn Lowry, who you may be aware of, who's a conservative economist, kind of an American treasure on the conservative side, went on Bill Maher's podcast in the middle of the most heated moments of the 2020 stuff and said, listen, I'm going to break down some facts for you. This is not a first-order threat.
COVID.
To black people, no, the cops killed him.
It's not even anything.
He said, let's put this in perspective. And because he was, a noted black intellectual, it was hard to fuck with him, but he was still pushed aside when people didn't really care. And they moved on to the narrative.
Not having a dad is going to ruin your life, young black people, not the cops.
Yeah,
well, there you go. Statistically.
I would say that's
1,000%.
Fair,
Yes.
fair, Adam,
okay.
fair.
Come on, CNN. You're getting black people killed. Fucking
fair
hustlers.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Because they really have, at a certain point, they have blood on their hands.
But they are in, obviously precipitous decline at this point.
No,
right?
nobody. Listen, it's the funniest thing. Jake Tapper's writing a book about, hey, the White House wouldn't tell us that Joe. Okay, he who shilled for the White House for 5 years, or whatever, he who shills for all Democrats. And all you do is lie. He should be humiliated that he wrote a book.
You've seen the numbers. It's like this.
Well,
and nobody under the age of 65 is watching any of that stuff.
Why?
So they know that it's over.
But yeah, I agree. No, but here's my thing. Why would I ever listen to a fucking word that came out of Jake Tapper's mouth ever again? Or Fauci, or Newsom, or whomever. These guys, all they do is lie, and then at some point they circle around.
Newsom is tacking to the right now. You're seeing him, right? He's moving to the center, at least optically.
He's pretending.
Yes, he's pretending to move to the center. Right, with his comment about trans sports, right? He said, there should be fairness. I care about sports. So in this sort of post-Trump election era, people are worried about optics. And even Gavin Newsom is worried about the optics of looking too crazy lefty, right? He's worried about it.
Here's what Gavin Newsom is. He's nothing. He's whatever somebody wants him to be.
An empty
He's
suit,
like a fucking call girl who has a couple German clients in town, and they go, what do you want me to wear?
He's kind of slick.
And that's what he'll do.
He has a little bit of political talent. He's kind of
he
slick,
does.
right?
He lies his ass off and then moves forward, and people don't have the skill to deal with it. You got to keep circling back with
he
him.
may yet be president, my friend. I hope not, but he certainly has some talent, and he has an incredible amount of ambition.
Yeah.
Clearly, right?
I'm just so enamored with the Jake Tappers of the world who act like, and you know what? This is what I love about the internet, because they just put together 5-minute montages of him lying his fucking ass off or being completely full of shit. And then they just run it ad nauseum on the internet, and I just love it.
No, I mean, listen.
Same with Fauci, same with all of them.
That's the deal. It's a more open information ecosystem now, and you can't perpetuate narratives in that way anymore. I think we may look back and see what happened in 2020 and leading up to this moment as sort of the last time when you could perpetuate grand narratives in the mainstream media.
Yeah,
right?
no, I
think it's over.
I agree. We're going to realize that maybe COVID undid the mainstream media.
Yes.
COVID brought them down. Like, the real danger was not the virus. It was the destruction of mainstream media with
Absolutely.
COVID, because they all lied, and they lied early, and they lied consistently, and they lied straight on through. And then they did the thing that was always despicable, which is not only did they, it wasn't enough that they lie, it was that they had to try to destroy those who were seeking the truth.
Oh yeah,
that was the beauty of it.
Yeah.
I just love this is a Tapper. Now, Tapper, I was going to get to this tomorrow, and I will, but Tapper's writing a book claiming that the White House lied to him about Biden's condition.
Yeah.
How come everyone who wasn't on CNN knew about Biden's condition? And by the way, what is it you want the White House to tell you?
Let me tell
we
you
have a
something,
diminished president? They're not going to say that. You're a journalist, right?
I am, in fact, a lifelong political independent. And let me tell you something. When the Democrats were repudiated, I was incredibly happy. And the reason I was incredibly happy was because you cannot gaslight the American public.
I'm glad.
You cannot gaslight.
You can gaslight them for a period of time, but not in perpetuity.
Yes. Not in perpetuity. And that was the deal. They were gaslighting the American public on a number of things, and they paid the price for that politically. So regardless of what you think about Trump, all this other stuff, you should celebrate that.
No, they ran a Ponzi scheme, and the Ponzi scheme, okay. There's sort of long-term prudent investments, and then there's Ponzi schemes.
Absolutely.
Ponzi schemes, you get a lot of cash up front, but they burn out pretty quick. And so what they did with COVID, and what they did with Biden, and what they did with Russian collusion, and what they did with Hunter Biden's laptop was a Ponzi scheme. They went, this is red meat for our base. We're going to hit it early and often. But now the Ponzi scheme has run out, and we look at these guys as charlatans because they were so wrong. They lied about everything.
That's how they could spend $2 billion trying to elect a candidate and fail. $2 billion.
Because the Ponzi scheme ran out.
Dollars, my friend. I mean, it's wild stuff, and we're living through some pretty wild times here.
I got this clip, which is great, because Laura Trump in October of 2020 is explaining to Jake Tapper that Biden is diminished.
Right.
And then Jake Tapper, I was always curious about this. They all picked this weird angle, which is Biden used to have a stutter. And I'm like, yeah. I know, guys. Herschel Walker had a stutter, but he didn't fall down staircases going to an airplane. You know what I mean? Historically, there's been many athletes that have stutters or speech impediments, but also won the Heisman and also run a Ford 440.
You know what?
This is not a stutter. This is a diminished person.
It was insanely dishonest. I'll tell you what upset me even more than that was because I was a fan of journalists like Taibbi and Schellenberger, guys like that, when they went in front of that congressional hearing with the Democrats. Did you see that clip?
Yes.
And they were just excoriated. The Democrats it was all ad hominem attacks. It was like, you're a scumbag, you're a so-called liberal journalist, you're this, that really disgusted me.
It should have, because you were like, these guys are seeking the truth.
It disgusted me. And I thought, you know what? Noted Deborah Wasserman Schultz is up there, who was a very corrupt person, right? We know that. We know what she did with the Clinton campaign. We know all that stuff. So they're gonna take journalists who have been liberal journalists for their entire careers. Both of these guys were liberal journalists.
Yes.
But they walked across the wrong rail. Right? They walked across the wrong rail, and now we're coming for you, man. Just like everybody else.
No,
and that was what I believe is that they sacrificed their own principles so much after 2016 because they said there's an evil orange guy over here. If we don't fight this guy, and sacrifice everything we believe in, that we should believe in to do it, then we're lost, I guess they thought.
It's despicable.
It's horrible. It's the worst thing I've ever seen happen, and they deserve their 22% approval rating or whatever it is.
I'll play you this clip because Lord Trump, 2020,
let me see,
October.
Yeah.
I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no. I can't. It's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
When you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses, diagnosing politicians from afar. In our 2020 League today, President Trump's niece, who is a clinical psychologist, is calling on the American Psychiatric Association.
First off, this thing where they go, "You're not a doctor." No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but Sean Penn played a retarded guy in a movie, and I knew which character was retarded in the movie. You know what I mean? Like I saw Rain Man. No, I'm not a physician. I'm not a physician, but I saw that Dustin Hoffman played someone who was impaired. Is that fair?
That's off limits. But,
That's it off limits?
Yeah.
He had a stutter or he was impaired?
Yeah.
But there was never a stutter allegation. It was more about look at the way the guy walks. He can't find the direction. He can't go up the stairs. He fell off the bike. It's not a stutter. You not knowing the name of Vladimir Putin is not a stutter. No, none of it's a stutter. It's so transparent.
Look, even when the Wall Street Journal did their piece, right before everything was revealed, the Wall Street Journal did a piece which was basically like, there's evidence that Biden's in serious decline, right?
Right.
All the mainstream media players did the same thing. They said, can you believe this right-wing disinformation nonsense that's going on? So even when it was WSJ, they were willing to do all that stuff.
Right. So Jake Tapper should not be listened to, and the revisionist history is off the fucking chain. I mean, you have these people that were screaming at everyone to close schools down for 2 years going, I wanted to open the schools. Bitch, we have film. We have tape. We have endless hours of you saying close the schools down.
No kid needed a shot, obviously. Yes. We didn't need to give shots to the kid.
We have endless hours of you saying all of it. This revisionist history that everyone tries to do in the face of high-def video of them looking into a camera and saying the opposite 2 or 3 years ago is insane and insulting that they even try to pull it off.
Well, people went crazy during the pandemic years, and
I
don't think we've recovered. I really don't think we're close.
Well,
depends on which segment of society you're talking about. Okay.
Yes.
But on our show, we've seen that it's crazy out there.
Have you've noticed that the criminal element is gone, or society?
It is. Let me give you an example. So we need 99 segments to make 33 episodes of Cops every year, right?
3 per
half hour.
Right.
In a normal year, we'll shoot a little bit more than that, maybe 130 segments or something.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use 99 of the best ones. Last year, our people submitted 350 stories.
Really? And stories that would be compelling, or, oh my God, can you believe this?
Compelling,
or what's that person
stories,
doing?
So it's even better for the show because we're still going to use the same formula. We're going to use the best of the best stuff.
99.
Put it in the show, you know what I mean? But that does not happen in a normal society or a normal year. That much action on the ground with police in urban cities, rural cities, all over America. And as I said, with people just so willing to, the cops trained to de-escalate now, but anybody they come into encounter with will challenge them in a number of ways, right? All kinds of ways. They'll accuse them of being murderers. They'll it's all that.
It's really the powers that be, the race hustlers, the CNN folks, and the Bidens over there talking about the systemic racism and all that. Jasmine Crockett and all the other hustlers. They're getting people killed. They have blood on their hands, as far as I'm concerned.
This is my favorite one. This is because there were a lot of lies that people, inaccuracies said about the show during that time. But one of my favorite ones
about cops.
Yeah, one of my favorite. It was Copaganda. It's all racist.
Copaganda.
Yeah, Copaganda. Mm-hmm. My favorite one was this one guy who did a systematic analysis of the show for race, not for the officers who appeared, because they wouldn't care about the officers,
right.
Just for the suspects. So he takes 900 episodes of Cops, does a statistical analysis to see like what percentage, what percentage are black, right? That's really what he was interested in.
Right.
He gets the results, and it shows that it's basically the percentage of black people of cops is equal to that of the American population in our show, right? It's not. So they're factually 13%,
right,
or whatever. It was basically equal to that.
Not equal to the amount involved in crime.
No.
Right.
All right. So when people said, "Oh, it's a racist show, it overrepresents black people," it was factually incorrect. Nobody cared.
Right.
Nobody cared. But so this guy did this, ran the data, got the answer. Didn't like the answer.
Sure.
Reanalyzed 200 other episodes of the show, concluded that too many black people appeared in the first act of the show.
Oh, the first.
Therefore, the show's racist.
Interesting.
And I got to follow up through this. Like I knew that it was like a podcast guy coming to this conclusion, and I was like, I've got to tell you, my friend, I've worked on this show since I was a kid. I've never been aware that there are more of one group or another in the first act of the show, because that's not the criteria for the first act of the show.
Yeah.
Right? But, it doesn't matter. There was no good faith. People did what they did.
No, it's weird. I was thinking about it today, which is, and I noticed it about a month ago, probably about 6 weeks ago, Elon and Doge hit full, we're in full Elon swing and Doge swing.
Yep.
And I said to Dr. Drew, I said, for the first time in my memory, we took 10 minutes off of race and we moved to billionaires for just a moment.
Yeah.
There was just a moment when all the race hustlers were just talking about billionaires, and they stopped with race.
Yeah.
CNN, Jasmine Crockett, all the Al Sharptons, they're all on billionaires. And I was sort of like, well, this is a nice break from them constantly talking about race. But it lasted 2 weeks, and now we hit race harder in the last 2 weeks than we have in 20 years ago.
It's just as if you're as old as you or I, and you've lived in this country, you know that we did not always have this level of hysteria about race.
No,
nobody
cared.
It was not a thing. I grew up, 80s, 90s. It was not.
It wasn't. Look, I told
and
people,
that's not to ignore that there are things that persist and issues that persist. I'm not. We all know there are. But in terms of actual conscious racism among the population,
no. Listen, Los Angeles had Tom Bradley was the mayor in 1972. Black man, nobody cared.
Yeah.
He was mayor for 30 years. Nobody cared.
I grew up in an
People
environment where
him.
that was the worst thing you could be was some kind of a racist, right? That was absolutely.
Absolutely.
It was totally.
Everyone loved.
It was frowned upon and it was disgusting, and nobody got away with that. So it was really interesting to grow up in an environment like that and then see the country change in the way that it has. It shows you the perniciousness of false narrative.
It's pernicious.
And that people are still subject to this stuff, and people believe it. People believe it.
It's so sad, and it's so debilitating to think that you're in a country that doesn't want you if you're a young black woman. And it's
horrible.
It's
That's
damage.
awful. Yeah,
it's the most damage you can.
Look, it wouldn't be America without black people. Everybody knows that. Come on, give me a break. Black culture is American culture. Come on.
No, it's an insane premise, but it's basically...
It is an insane premise, but people believe it. I know they do. People fall for it all the time.
No, they do. There's gays for Palestine. You know what I mean? Like, they just go for everything.
I'll tell you what's even sadder to me. When we had all of this activism, in the end, all BLM wanted to do was really make YouTube videos in a mansion or whatever it was. Like, there's nobody really on any kind of quote activism who wants to actually address issues. It's all performative now.
It is.
There's nobody out there. There used to be people on both sides, Republican, Democrat, who would actually go out and try to, make education better. Or they try to, improve standards in one way or another for actual people.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a world where it's all performativity now, and none of that matters. It's all about the optics.
It's all performative because there's really nothing an outside group can do for a culture or a group other than dads stay families intact, focus on education,
culture,
just focus on culture, values. That's all. That's all you can do. You opening up midnight basketball
I'm not saying a government
gymnasiums
program.
and stuff.
I don't believe in a government program.
No, I'm talking about all the professional hustlers that take checks from all the companies saying they're going to do something. They don't do anything.
Yeah, that's all corrupt too. That's the other problem.
Oh, look, we spent $24 billion on homelessness in Los Angeles. We got more homelessness. Like, it's all a racket.
I saw a doc on Netflix about Bobby Kennedy, not RFK Jr., but his dad. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it really struck me that the things he was saying in 1968, this is supposed to be this liberal icon, right?
Right.
The things he was saying in 68 would now be considered right-wing.
Right.
Because what he was saying was, in these areas where we have poverty and disenfranchisement, and it's horrible. What we need to do is not a government program. We don't need the Great Society. This is what Bobby Kennedy was saying. He was saying, Great Society is a government program. We can't solve this through government. We need to bring in business initiatives and give these people development opportunities. We need to do this basically through markets, is what he was saying.
Right.
And that was the thrust of Bobby Kennedy's 68 campaign. If you said that now, you would be considered right-wing.
Oh, yeah. Well, most of the stuff they said then was considered right-wing.
But real
now.
Right-wing, right?
There's countless footage of them talking about the border and taking jobs of Americans and all that kind of stuff. That's from the 90s.
Oh, no,
you
you're
have
right.
to go to the 60s.
No, Obama was hard on the border. Yeah.
Right.
Right, no.
All right, let me give it a plug, Morgan. It's season 37 and 36 around, right?
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Yes.
New episodes on Fox Nation. You know what they did that was great? It's a subscription service, but if you're military, police, or first responder, you get it free for a year.
Oh, that's nice.
It was my favorite thing that they did. It was like, okay, that's great.
That is awesome. All right, I'm going to be in Bellflower doing stand-up at Stand-Up Comedy Club. That'll be May 24th. 2 shows out there. Go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. And Jiaoying Summers, you can go online and find her dates all over the place. Morgan, great to see you again, my friend.
Me too, man.
And until next time, Sam for Morgan, Jiaoying, and Mayhem saying mahalo.